Our goal for this lesson is to solve division problems in which the answer or quotient contains a decimal. We will know we have been successful when we are able to complete Mission 2 Lessons 26 and 27. Let's get started. In looking at our problem, we cannot make a group of 40 from 8. However, we can make groups of 40 from 80 tenths. We can make two groups of 40 from 80 tenths. And now we're going to follow our same steps just as before. Dividing with decimals is the same as dividing with whole numbers. We just have a little dot. And here we see our answer is 2/10. In this problem, we have 13 divided by 5. Since 5 is an easy number to skip count with, we don't really need to round it. I know that I can have two groups of 5 from 13. And again, we're just doing the same steps that we would normally do. 2 times 5 is 10, and we have 3 left over. But when we're dividing by decimals, we don't have a remainder like we would without decimals. So in this case, I'm going to put the invisible decimal, I'm going to make it visible, and remember that there is an invisible 0 after it as well. There are invisible zeros that go on forever. And now I'm able to bring that 0 down so that I have 3 still, but now I can count it as 30 tenths. I know that 5 times 6 is 30, so 5 times 6 tenths would be 30 tenths. And I'm going to subtract that. So our answer is 2 6/10. Let's try another. 108 divided by 15. In looking at this, I cannot make groups of 15 from 1, nor can I make them from 10. I must use the entire 108 in order to make those. If I round my 15 to 20, then I think I can make 5 groups of 20, because I know that 5 times 20 is 100. But I'm going to check that to make sure. So I'm going to take my 15 and multiply it by 5. And I see that I have 75, which tells me that I would have plenty to make another group. So let's check that. We want to get close to 108. I'm still pretty far away from 108. And I think that there can be another group of 15. "105 is really close to 108. So 7 would be my answer for this part. 7 times 15, I've already done the math, and subtract. And there's 3 left over. But with decimals, we do not use remainders. And so I need to make my decimal visible and bring down that invisible 0 as well. And I know that 15 times 2 is 30. So 15 times 2 tenths would be 30 tenths. Now you try one. 403 divided by 65. Start with rounding 65 to the nearest multiple of 10. Correct, 65 would round to 70. How many groups of 70 can be made with 403? I know that 7 times 5 is 35, so 70 times 5 would be 350. Solve and come back when you are done. 7 times 5 would be 35, so 70 times 5 would be 350. I'm going to check this, however. $325 is a good ways away from 403. So I'm going to try 65 times 6. $390 is pretty close. We've already done the multiplication over here. Since I cannot have a remainder, I'm going to continue on. I cannot make a group of 65 from 13, and so I want to make my decimal visible and bring down that invisible 0 as well. And now I want to find out how many groups of 65 we can make from 130. And the answer would be 2. 2 times 65 is 130 tenths. This time try 221 divided by 68. Round your divisor and solve. Come back when you are done. Check and make sure you have done the same steps. And our answer is 3 25/100. Let's do another one. Solve and come back when you are ready to check. And our answer is 84 2/10. Let's try some more where the decimal is already there. Just as before, we still continue to add a 0 if we need to be able to continue to divide until we have our answer. Stop and come back when you are ready to check. I hope this helps.